The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Tokucast for First Impressions.
Yes.
New Sentai has started. Number 1 Sentai Gozyuger.
Yes.
Marcus and Jacob here to bring you our first impressions on the first 3 episodes.
Yes.
Which I watched last night.
Well, with the opening.
Well, of course, that's what we usually do.
I like it. I like it more than they did for the live version. I did not like the live version that much.
Oh, okay. I did not see the live version. I thought this one was okay.
I just like doing the clapping. Go, winner, number 1. I like that.
I really like how it's shot.
Yeah.
I really like a lot of the visual tricks. My favorite part is where they have the cardboard standees and they're like swapping between like civilian form. They put the cardboard standee of their transformed form down and then civilian form becomes a cardboard standee. That editing, it's so well edited. It's very flashy, very eye-catching. I like it a lot. I like how it looks.
It's a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to the actual show proper for the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I want to start off with one bad thing, and it's not the fault of anything in the show proper. It's the fault of something an actor cannot change. It is also because it reminds me of something else that I don't like.
Okay.
Horu's voice reminds me of Takaharu's.
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
From Ninja.
This whole performance gives me Takaharu vibes, and it is the one thing about the show that I'm really not vibing with.
It doesn't give me the...
I don't think it's a good performance.
It doesn't give me the vibes. It's the voice is reminding me of him because they have very similar intonation.
It's similar intonations. The voice never gets as loud as I feel this.
So raspy.
He gets
so hoarse.
He gets very raspy and very like broken. It's like, but it never like gets to the energy level I feel like it should be for what the situation is calling for.
Like when he's just chill, it works. For the most part.
Yeah.
And you know it. The early days of a Sentai, it's sort of a little, or really any show really, it's really hard for that actors to really get into it. I think he'll get better as, things go along, obviously. They are very ahead on filming for this, just like they are for Gav.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm just like,
Yeah, it's the one thing that's not really working for me. I think it's a combination of the actor's performance. I think it's the script. I don't think for him being built up in the pre-release as much as being like such a big jerk. I don't think he's written that way as much.
He comes off as very, I don't want to be here.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that energy.
Fair enough, but.
Yeah, it's just something.
But I feel like it doesn't get to the level where it was promised, which that could be my own expectations interfering with it. We'll see what happens as the show goes along.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think is part of the way he's being directed. I feel like they're scared. It feels like they are scared to make him too mean.
Yeah.
And I think that's coming in as a detriment.
I agree. Because he is probably, I like him well enough, but he is probably the worst thing about this show so far.
Yeah.
And, like I said, things could definitely end up getting better as the show goes along. But everybody else is outshining him. And he's our focus character.
Yeah.
This is so unfair. We had Taya again in this show.
Yeah.
So, not him. But this time
it's the same actor.
Yeah,
it's Haruhi playing King Oger.
Yeah,
Kuwagata Oger. This version of Kuwagata Oger, we should say, because he's got his hands on a Sentai ring and one of the Tega swords that they use to transform.
He's a universal warrior.
Yes, and in the first episode, Yuchi is showing some really amazing range. Compared to, the performance that we just came off of. That we literally just watched, 50 episodes of him in Boon Boonjer playing Taya. And now we see him playing this in the first episode of Gozyuger. And yeah, that switch that he has made to this character is very good. I think it's a great performance.
It's going to be a lot of fun when we end up having the inevitable Gozyuger versus Bunbunger, and he's just like, what? Or it was just like...
Is it going to be like you two look familiar? No, we don't. We look nothing alike.
He wears glasses.
So clearly we're different people.
Also, I do like how the Sentai rings in this have like their own special abilities. Like Kuwagata Oja has that cape that's supposed to be the carapace of the beetle, which is really hard. And Don Momotaro can spawn origami versions of the
Don brothers.
Well, of the things from the tail. The monkey.
Right, the monkey, the pheasant.
Yeah.
Etc., etc.
You can spawn origami versions of those. We'll get to him in a second. I think my biggest thing about this, the fact that I like that they are not one-offs.
Yeah. Because, what's the character's name? Tsutsumi, who is Yuji's character. At the end of the episode, it's like, you are my rival now. Because whoever it is that like is the last ranger standing gets to have their wish granted. They have a very Leon and Sereno have a very tentative agreement. We'll work together right now, but once we get to the end, it's all bets are off. Yeah. So they feel the same way towards Tono. It's like we should work together for the time being. They have. It's a competition. It's a big competition at the end of the day. Because we've had Geats. Yeah. We had our Rider Royale. And now we have this, which is our Sentai Royale. Yeah. We're doing that for this one. And as you have said in many of First Impressions, what is the mystery? Yeah. What is it you're trying to hook us with? I'm hooked. I'm very, very curious as to where this story is going to go. Horo has something going on with the villains, with the No One world that they're from. He was from that world originally, apparently, because we see him in the flashback with his mother, his sister, somebody. A woman who I assumed it was his mom, but we might find out. So something is going on with him. We still haven't met that other guy that apparently he has something. There's a lot of characters we haven't met yet. Yeah, we haven't really met Eagle yet. We just met him, or did we? No, we did. The old man is him. The old man is him, okay. Yes, apparently it reframes how you saw that scene in the opening where he's like running away from the old lady. Because you thought it was just like, oh, he's running away from his grandma or something. He's running away from his wife? Yes. Huh. Because apparently his ring could turn him young. Fascinating. Yeah. I wonder how they will handle that. We don't know exactly what Unicorn's deal is yet. We won't be introduced to her. Not even this week. There is a lot we don't know about all these characters. We won't be. It's actually going to be 2 weeks before we are introduced to her, as the superhero time is off the air next week for some sports thing. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit. She apparently she has the Ryusoul Sentai ring, which is we see the ring on her in the end of episode 3. But somebody else probably actually ends up getting the Ryusoul ring first, and she gets it from them after she beats them. Because she has it in a preview. But herself, I like her. I like her personality. I like how she hates everybody. She she seems very embittered. Yeah. She's got the two sides that she flips between. Yeah. She has the serious detective who will, stare down a brick wall into submission. And that cutesy assistant lady. But it's so insincere, and so fake. Fake, yeah. It's what's the word? I'm like cynical. Yeah, like look at me, I'm so cutesy, la la la, and she is just being such a dick about it, and I love it. Also, because they did like a whole actual little dance tutorial thing for the opening, she did the whole thing in heels. Oh, wow. And everybody was like online. She was like, they were like, "Oh my god, you're so great for doing this in heels." She was like, "You know what? I'm just amazing." And I was like, I appreciate that energy. Work, bitch. But I really like her. I'm really excited. Sometimes it's okay to be like, you know what? Yeah, I am. She's Take the compliments. I'm great. And I'm just like, you know what? You are. It's true. Before we get to Yellow and Blue, I want to talk about Fire Candle a little bit. Okay. I like the fact that he actively has like a relationship with the minions of this show. Dude. Oh my god. What was his name? Kendelios?
Fire Candle is the general's name. Cassios.
Cassios, dude. I never thought they'd get me to care about a minion.
He was only there for like 5 minutes.
He was on screen for like 5 seconds, but the rapport that he has with Candle.
The first time they see you, like, ah!
Don't worry. It's like, is my mech out of the shop yet? No, not yet. And then Cassios comes in and is like, don't worry, boss, I'll get him for you. And they do like this choreographed high five that goes on for like 30 seconds. And then at the end, when Cassios dies in the mech, we cut back to Candle in that cathedral holding a photo of them and like crying and swearing vengeance. And I'm like, oh, Cassios, no. They were actually friends.
I love it. I love the two of them together. It's so good. And I was like, yeah, we end up getting a lot more about Candle. It's just like, oh, he's not just
Candle,
angry man of villain faction number 4 who's just like, oh, I will serve him. It's like, no, he has actual relationships with the people who are working with him. And I really appreciate that. Switching gears. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about Bouquet, and I want to talk about her relationship with Leon.
Okay.
I love her, one. I like her energy a lot. She also is a parent.
She's good.
She watched Dawn Brothers.
Oh, did she?
And she, like, in the interview with the actress, she was like, Taro and Sonoe apparently have this thing going on the entire time, and I really loved it, and everybody should watch Dawn Brothers. And I was like, you better work, she's one of us!
A woman after her own heart.
But episode 3.
Okay. We're talking about the performance.
With the performance.
Where she's like, she's walking around town. This is the first time she's ever been to Earth. She's like, so this is the human world.
It's very low technology here. What's going on?
This is all very blasé. What's all this then? And then they're having a popularity contest is the theme of the episode.
Yes, number 1 popular.
Yes, number 1 popular. Every episode we're trying to be the number 1 of something. In this case, number 1 popular. So we have the villain who is using brainwashing evil magic powers to make everyone love him. And then, what is his name? Rikuo Byakuya. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Byakuya is an idol. He puts on a little impromptu show, and all of his fans are there. It breaks through the brainwashing. Bouquet happens by this.
No, my favorite thing is what happens right before she sees them.
Mm-hmm.
The popular monster comes in with the area holding him,
mm-hmm.
and once Rico starts singing, one of the areas drops him and runs over to him. Like, Rico's
and he's got the fan and everything. It's great.
I love the little references and things that they do, and it's so good. And then Bouquet comes in and like immediately falls in love with him.
Yes,
becomes like a super fan, gets a whole all the merchandise.
But she detests Gozyuger.
Yes,
she detests Gozyuger, but his alter ego, who she does not know is the same person, she is madly infatuated with.
I think also, just speaking of that, because it all happens in a mech fight, she cannot see who's in the mech.
Also true.
I love the fact that in the mech is the person, not the suit.
Also true, yeah.
That's never happened before.
Tono controlling the mech with his foot. Just sitting sideways, pulling a lever in and out, who knows what it's doing. Some people are camping. They're out having a picnic. All of a sudden, a giant sword.
And then Tyranno comes in.
And then, yes, Bakugami.
I love him. I think he's hilarious.
This guy is a dang-ass freak.
He is.
And I'm here for it.
All about Teiga Sword-sama.
Teiga Sword-sama.
His special thing is having super strength.
Yes, the Gozyugers all, because their rings are giving them a superpower. For Tono, it's smell. For Byakuya, it's hearing. For Bakugami, it's strength. I'm assuming for Eagle, it's going to be the age. It's the age thing.
Yeah, I believe so.
And for Unicorn, we don't know yet.
Yeah. Hers will come up. Eventually. Yeah, we don't even know.
Wonder if it like amplifies her like cognitive powers or something.
Yeah.
But we shall see.
Also, like the fact that because of the fact that she is black, it's just like, oh, we're not going for that cute pink. Like, no, we're going for something a little bit stronger this time.
Yeah. Her introduction scene, one of the things I love about Bakugami is how tall he is.
Yeah.
They cast he's like a very tall man with, clothes that really, I think, accentuate it. And she walks up to him and is just like staring him down like, you don't scare me.
Who are you?
Oh, you have super strength? I don't care.
Your parfaits are too expensive.
Your parfaits are too expensive.
To be fair, I completely get that. Something about those. I noticed when I was over there, those parfaits are either low end or high end. Like, they're all into being around the same price, and I don't get it.
But yeah, she pieces out, and Bakugami is just like, well, what's the parfait price? What do I adjust it to?
Also, I love the camera angles in their scene, the close-ups on the faces, they close out.
There is a lot of face acting going on in the show. And I first noticed it with Candle.
Yeah.
When he is in that mech in the beginning of the first episode, in that first action scene, he is devouring the scenery, the face acting that this man is doing. Just like it's like the makeup and the actor's face, the way they've styled his hair and everything.
It's not even the most amount of makeup.
Everything. I know, but like it accentuates his eyes.
Yeah,
it draws you into his eyes, which he is very good at using. They're very intense, and he is just like going ham.
He during the press conference, a lot of my attention was drawn to him. Because he was just so animated.
It's kind of like Jeremy,
yeah,
in King Oger, because like you are drawn to that person's face. For Jeremy, part of it was because he just had those amazing eyes.
Yeah,
it was so pretty that you are just drawn to that person's face.
Yeah, and in
this one, it's because the actor is just so good at using it, and he is always just like putting it in the camera, and the director knows how to frame him and knows how to get the best look from him.
Now, we haven't talked about one character yet, and I do want to bring up the fact that there is a connection to the name.
Mm-hmm.
Don Momotaro in this one.
Yep.
Is Tregear.
Is Tregear from Taiga.
Yes.
From Ultraman
So,
Taiga.
this is a different Taro this time that he is related to. Because Tregear basically wanted a boyfriend and he wanted that to be Taro. And it's just like, wow, they really just went for it. We're not going to get the actual Don Momotaro. We're going to have the other gay going on with this.
The BL pipeline, it just keeps going.
Yeah, it never stops. But it's just like, I love the fact that they made that different connection where his connection to Taro versus Don Momotaro.
And I think a very good performance in this.
The hilarious thing, they had Don Momotaro's, like, they talked to Don Momotaro's actor.
Oh, did they?
About the character in this is like, oh, he's a politician and he's also Don Momotaro, you in this case. And the actor was just like, is that a good idea? Should Don Momotaro be...
Should Don Momotaro be in politics?
Yeah. I think my biggest thing with this character, I loved him. He really just ate whatever he was doing. But I think the most hilarious thing about this, he could not escape the trigger at the end of it when he revealed his true intentions. I'm just like, this is still Trigger. I love that. I love their fight. And I love the fact that when the O-Ranger ring came in, they ended up using I can't remember exactly what it's called.
Pyramid.
The pyramid.
The prism.
To stop him from using the Jetman gear to get away.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Speaking of the combat in this, Goju Wolf went viral on his first fight.
Wow.
It got viral in the fighting game community.
Oh, okay.
Because he's basically comboing and canceling and super canceling and everything into his moves. When you had the creator of Tekken get in on this.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Yes.
What?
The creator of Tekken got tagged in this scene and he was talking about, oh, he's canceling into this, to this, to this. We basically done something like this similar. And I'm just like,
huh.
So, Goju Wolf and Tekken win.
Hey, I'd buy it.
I would buy the hell out of it.
I'd buy it, yeah.
I like the fights in this, though.
The action is very good.
The action is very good. Whenever Tyranno shows up, for some reason, it's consistently hilarious. The man just has the energy. He has the aura. Just destroy everything around him. I love it.
He's digging for treasure, and he just stops the mech's sword with his bare hands and is like, how dare you use Tegasoto-sama's sword as a spade, and like is picking up boulders and throwing them,
trees,
and ripping up trees out of the ground, throwing them in a mech, and he's like, how dare you disrespect the Tegasoto-sama.
I really like where the show is going. I'm waiting for her to get better, but everybody else, I'm so 110% here for.
I agree. I Sentai keeping that hot streak up.
It looks
like they're keeping it up.
They can't be stopped. It's been many years at this point, and they refuse to stop. I appreciate that energy, and I'm happy that it's just like once again, Sentai is just going viral every week on the various social media platforms. I just really appreciate that. I still cannot believe fucking Harada got into this.
Oh boy. But I think one of the thinking back on the fight, like, yeah, you're right. The way he's moving and the way he's like staying low and then coming up, like getting under attacks, going over them. Visually, they do so many interesting things in this show.
Yeah.
I love the way the villains enter our world.
Oh, through the portal, and then they like attach onto somebody.
Specifically, it looks like they're doing it through circles.
Yeah.
Any kind of circular object, be that a clock, a sign, whatever. We see that kind of shake, kind of like it's kind of Ryuki-ish, where they're coming through the mirrors. But it's like anything that's circular, they come through, and then they have two circles on their chest.
Yeah.
And they can spawn other. It's like the gold ones come in first.
Yeah.
And then the gold ones spawn silver, and then they spawn more silver. And yeah, I like the bell theme.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think it works.
Also, I love the ring. When they have like the entire company and everything, and all the accompaniments and all the instruments, and be like number one. The aesthetics of the show
it goes full like Ostatakai Oendan, where you've got like the whole cheer squad, everyone hyping everyone up.
I love it. I love it.
Dude, we're this close to getting a wrestling Sentai. That whole like hype up fighting game. I mean, you talk about fighting game, they're like, this person versus this person with the stylized font and everything, and the versus like cards and everything. Yeah, we're this close to getting a wrestling Sentai. I can feel it.
Tyranno Ranger is going to be coming in soon. See, this is why I wish they weren't just doing the Red Rangers. I understand why, because it's just a lot. Shit. But I feel like if you're going to have the ring, you need to do the first one that had the ring as an actual motif. Where is Geki Violet? He was the Muay Thai fighter. Just like, I feel like he needs to be there. But I understand why it's just the Reds. But the interesting of it being somebody else too.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens.
I mean, this is a chance for a lot of fast Toku actors to come back.
Not in their roles.
I was going to say in different roles.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
That's one of the things that has me the most interested is the fact that we've got Trigger and we've got Taya back, but playing different characters, and I like that a lot.
I want Shinken Brown to come back and play Shinken Red.
Oh, won't that be something?
I almost wish instead of Trigger playing Damo Wataru, we got the guy who kept showing up in Dawn Brothers and turning into a Totsuki in that. That would have been great. But he might turn into one of the ones that he turned into. Maybe he might show up as Magic Red. But I'm also really interested to see, since we know something has to happen with Ryuso Red and we see him, somebody else with the silver one as him, I'm really interested to see how Unicorn gets it and how we see, them beating that Universe Warrior. I want to see what happens there. I'm really interested to see how this show goes forward.
Yes.
I mean, Sentai has not let me down, unlike Rider. I mean, Gap's still good, though. Gap's still good. It's the opposite fights, because people are talking. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see how things are going to go going forward. Alpha Gozyuger. It's going to be fun. I'm also just really excited to see what that fan-created Red Ranger is going to be. Since that competition is happening. One fan-created Ranger Red Ranger will show up in this.
Mm.
So I'm just waiting to see what happens. Watch it end up being kids in the red. But yeah.
We will see.
Let us know what you think about Gozyuger in the comments below.
Please do.
Don't forget to join us on all the things. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching.